Hi everyone, it's another video from WhatAcca.com. We're looking ahead to Premier League Game Week 24. I'm recording this video about 2 weeks before Game Week 24, so let's face fact. This might not be the most accurate time to make predictions and tips, but we wanted to give you some initial thoughts, some initial betting considerations, and maybe those of you playing fantasy football, of which there are millions, might get a few insights as to how we see the games going for some forward planning when they're tinkering with their team. We're going to have a selection for each of the games. We'll put a correct score up as well. Maybe a bit nearer to the time, we'll record another video looking ahead to Game Week 24 when we know what players are back from AFCON, injuries, suspensions, and even some FA Cup form, which is going to have probably changed the odds a little bit. Okay, let's dive in anyway. Tuesday the 8th of February, we've got 3 games taking place. Now, I fancy under 2.5 goals for all 3 of these matches, those 3 games being Newcastle Everton, West Ham Watford and Burnley Man United. I'll explain why, but if you wanted to do an under 2.5 goals treble on the 3 matches, it's around 8-1 at the moment, and obviously a bit of a nervy type of bet, the under 2.5 goals, but in a treble could provide a bit of interest, and I will explain why we think these games will be on the low scoring front. Starting at St James's Park, is this a relegation 6-pointer? Because if it's not, then it's still going to be a fairly tense affair, considering that sort of the Magpies are in the relegation zone. Everton are sort of hovering above the drop zone. At the time of recording, they are conducting a search for a new manager, which could last until the time that this game takes place. Who knows? Duncan Ferguson could well be in caretaker charge by the time this game does take place. We just think it's going to be a tense match. Newcastle won 1-0 at Leeds in their last Premier League game, and Everton lost at home to Villa 1-0 in the last game. So there was only 1 goal scored in those 2 games. We don't see either team. Both teams understand the value of this match in terms of not wanting to lose it. Certainly, Newcastle seems to be moving in the right direction after winning at Leeds, although it depends a little bit on the other teams down there as well. The bookies can't really split either team in the betting, and it's hardly a surprise, and you just can't have too much confidence in either side at the moment. So under 2.5 goals, we'd probably go for maybe a 1-1 draw, but it might be that just a single goal decides this game as well. Under 2.5 for this one. West Ham Watford takes place at 7:45 on the same evening on Tuesday 8th of February. Roy Hodgson seems to be certain to take charge at Watford at the time of recording. We know what Roy Hodgson is going to try and provide Watford with. It's not necessarily the case that he will do it, but he will try to make them defensively solid. He will try to react in a way to Norwich's 3-0 win at Vicarage Road. They will have played Burnley before this match is played, but we just think they're going to go to the London Stadium. We're set up in a pragmatic way, and if they get a point at the London Stadium, that'll be a great result in terms of them trying to keep afloat. So yeah, under 2.5 goals here. Gun to head, probably West Ham could edge this by a single goal. It might come late in the game. Burnley clash with Manchester United at 8 o'clock on this evening, and under 2.5 here. I think Burnley looked really solid and organised against Arsenal. Arsenal do have a bit of a lack of cutting edge, and maybe that's where the Red Devils will prosper in front of goal, considering their attacking options. But at the prices, we just think that a low-scoring game could be on the cards. Ralph Rangnick's side not really producing memorable performances at the moment. They sort of scored in injury time to beat West Ham 1-0. Obviously, Burnley had that 0-0. They will have played Watford between now and this game playing. But Tom Pope looks good in goal. You know what you're going to get with Burnley. And low scoring clash on this front. Wednesday the 9th of February, Manchester City clash with Brentford. We're going to go for Man City -1.5 on the Asian handicap here. So that means we need City to win by 2 goals or more in order to profit. Looks like a tough ask for Brentford to keep City at bay, even though Southampton managed to do the same recently. Thomas Frank has signed a new contract, but we're not sure his team are going to see much of the ball in this game. They did concede a combined 5 goals at home to Manchester United and Wolves recently in 2 home matches, and going to the Etihad, I think this is a match where they'll, even though they gave City a bit of a game at home, we think they could be quite badly exposed by a team who are going to be hungry to get back on that Premier League winning trail and make sure that Liverpool don't catch them up. So yeah, City -1.5 on that one, and we'll go for something like maybe something like a 4-0 victory here for Manchester City. And then into the next game, Norwich play Crystal Palace. Now, Norwich are actually, unbelievable as it sounds, are going for a third consecutive Premier League win after beating Everton and Watford. So, and they scored a combined 5 goals in those games as well. So, is Dean Smith's side in with any chance of staying up? Well, on the basis of the last 2 games, you have to say that this is there's a bit of the break will have come at a bad time in a way, because they've obviously got their tails up and managed to arrest quite a worrying slump in form, which really threatened for them to be down well before the spring. But yes, Josh Sargent obviously scored those 2 goals, and maybe he'll provide a catalyst for Norwich. But Crystal Palace looked really good against Liverpool after the first 25, weathering the storm, first 25 minutes, and managed to come sort of right back into the game at Selhurst Park. Most people thought they were value for a draw in that game, despite Liverpool's very bright start. We just think with the weaponry that they'll have on the pitch, we think both teams to score, yes, will probably be a decent bet in this game. Something like a 2-2 draw wouldn't surprise us. So yeah, we'll go for both teams to score. Tottenham play Southampton at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I can't believe how big a price Southampton are to win this game. They just look as good as they have done all season, really, under Ralph Hasenhüttl. There's just Mohamed Salisu looks excellent, central defensive position. James Ward-Prowse is having a fantastic time of things, and he's obviously got that free kick set piece sort of prowess. Armando Broja is also looking bright, and obviously Kyle Walker-Peters scored that fantastic goal against Manchester City. So yeah, draw or Southampton on the double chance here looks like a decent shout. We wouldn't put you off just backing Southampton to win this game. I don't really understand Tottenham's price. I know that they were unbeaten in the Premier League before losing at Stamford Bridge, but this isn't the sort of game where you just think Tottenham are going to automatically claim a sort of comfortable win, and they were sort of facing defeat squarely in the face until that late comeback from sort of Steven Bergwijn at the King Power Stadium. So yeah, they're vulnerable defensively, and draw or Southampton. We go for a 2-1 win Southampton here. Aston Villa meet with Leeds in the final match on the Wednesday night. We're going to go for Aston Villa just to simply win this game. They're just looking like such a proper team now under Steven Gerrard, and see the recruitment of Philippe Coutinho it makes them very creative from an attacking point of view. But it's also noticeable how Gerrard is starting to get a bit more from Emi Buendia. I know he scored the winning goal at Goodison Park, but aside from that, he just looked like he was very much knowing where he should be on the pitch and capable of causing a lot of mischief. And Jacob Ramsey seems to have had such a transformative season as well. So their system works very well. Defensively, they're strong, and obviously they've had an upgrade in that left-back position with Luca Digne. Leeds, I know that they won 3-2 at West Ham recently, but there were mitigating circumstances, and West Ham have sort of gone off the boil a bit recently, and losing 1-0 at home to Newcastle will have been a concern for Marcelo Bielsa, who's still missing a lot of the key players. So we're going to Villa to win, probably something like a 2-0 victory here, nice and comfortable for the Birmingham side. 2 more matches to look at on Thursday night. First of which is at Anfield between Liverpool and Leicester City. We're going to go for Liverpool to win and both teams to score, yes. We just think Leicester are capable of scoring a goal in any of the fixtures, and they did score 3 at the Etihad Stadium this season, which serves to highlight that point. James Maddison's obviously in the form of his life and should probably be back in the England squad and possibly in the England team. Patson Daka also looks quite promising, and James Justin's back to add some cut and thrust from a wide position as well. He was doing it really well until a long-term injury ruled him out. They are missing a few players, especially at the back, and obviously Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane are likely to be back in the Liverpool team for this fixture. So we just think Liverpool to win a high-scoring clash looks like the best bet to place. Finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers play Arsenal at Molineux on the Thursday night. We're going to go for Wolves draw no bet, which means money back if it finishes all square. Wolves just really doing so well this season. Probably the surprise package of the Premier League this season. Definitely one of them. And obviously Bruno Lage is getting a tune out of Jean Moutinho and Ruben Neves, who've been there for quite a number of seasons now. Defensively, we know all about Wolves' track record. Do lack a goal or two up front, really, and obviously Jimenez hasn't chipped in with that many goals this season. But the same can be alleged against Arsenal, really, who were fairly blunt from an attacking point of view when drawing 0-0 against Burnley. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang may have played his last game for the Gunners. We're not sure. Alexandre Lacazette is solid enough without being spectacular in front of goal, and the fact that they weren't able to break down a stubborn Burnley side won't give us any confidence for supporting Arsenal in a match like this. So Wolves draw no bet seems to be the best option here. So those are the 9 betting tips, predictions and correct score predictions for the game week 24. Like I say, we're well away from that happening at the moment, but we just wanted to give you guys some early views as to what might happen. Obviously, the betting coupons are available now, but we wouldn't necessarily recommend having a wager until a bit closer to the time. WhatAcca.com is going to continue to put together different Accas and multiple tips for you, so make sure you're signed up to the email service, and hopefully we'll be able to land a few winners. We'll have some FA Cup predictions and tips and accumulator tips coming up, and some of the lower division stuff. But thanks for watching this video. Let us know what you're backing in the comments below, and we'll see you soon for another video really soon. Cheers, guys.